Good morning, Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So I'm here coming at you guys with a quick live. And I'm going to be sharing with you this morning an epiphany I just had. So what happened was I'm going to have to take a seat for this one. It's going to be a little hard for me to share this one. So people watching the live or the replay, feel free to share your experience as personal, or maybe it's just a life lesson that you could relate to on the topic, which is love is a hell of a drug. So what does that mean? So this morning, let me flip the camera here. I was watching this video around 4 or 5 a.m. How to quickly get over a breakup. And I watched this 2 times. It's about 40 minutes. It's like a 40-minute video, podcast, whatever you want to call it. And it involves Dr. Glenn Hong, so he's a psychologist. And then Pai Jirsa, who is an educator, or as I was listening to the video, he was a coach. He mentioned he's a coach and he's gone through numerous case studies with people involving the topic. So I'll flip the camera back to me. The epiphany I got from this one, and while I'm sharing this with you in real time, I'm also processing because I watched this around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So hello, Kat, for watching. Again, I just went live now. We're going to be talking about love and healing, actually. Love is a hell of a drug. So this epiphany I'm going to share right now, it was just, I realized this 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I appreciate all the support. Again, people watching the live or the replay, you feel free to comment, react. It really helps a lot. So let's get to it. How to quickly get over a breakup. Spoiler alert, it's not quick necessarily. All the tips in this video that you saw earlier, watch the replay later on, and I'll flip it again, is it makes it easier, but they also recognize in the video that it's not easy still. So number one epiphany that hit me here was, this is the very first time that I heard a doctor and a professional, like an educator, a coach, say, you treat a breakup this way, treat it like you're breaking a drug addiction. So this is the very first time I ever heard any person say this to me about a breakup. So they said, treat it like you're breaking a drug addiction. So this one really hit me because, quick backstory on me, where I'm coming from, this is personal experience. So I came from a 9-year relationship, ended in 2014. I was 27 years old. I'm 36 years old now. Back then in 2014, I had no idea what the hell mental, emotional health was. And then now, just today, 2023, this doctor and this educator, coach, they say that you could treat it like you're breaking a drug addiction. I found this super helpful. So when you watch this video, it's like 40 minutes. I watched it 2 times. They really give practical tips and the science behind it. So I found that super interesting. Another thing, again, the topic is on love and healing for this one. Treat a breakup. Treat it like you're breaking a drug addiction. So I didn't know how serious that was. So like the dopamine, or like the natural, they called it like human cocaine. So it's real. And then before I move forward, because they give practical tips actually, and for people who could relate to this, whether you were in a relationship as a guy, you were in a relationship as a woman, if you're LGBTQIA, even if you're Jughead who's ace arrow, like asexual aromantic, but could still relate to love. So comment down below, #relate, if you could still relate to the topic of love. So how to get over a breakup, they give, aside from saying to treat it like you're breaking a drug addiction, that was the biggest epiphany, the biggest aha moment realization for me that I found super, super helpful. So people who want to go a little deeper, just type deep dive down below, and then we can do another call, a one-on-one, another live if you want on that. So practical tips. The next thing here was they say detox for 30 days. I actually did this personally back in 2014. So I deactivated my Facebook account. It wasn't 30 days. I did it for like a whole year. So it really helps. It's true. Now, to be fair, this also made me understand the other side. Meaning, if you're a guy, this made me understand the girl side also more. Because it's not easy. It's like a drug addiction. So imagine if you cut it off for 30 days, then try to do that for a year. Imagine if you're like a crack addict, cocaine addict, and then you cut it off, and you're not even down dosing. Well, if you're the person who's left with nobody, it's really hard. Now, maybe for some people who move on faster, again, nothing but love, maybe it's easier, you know. I'm curious to hear that side. Next practical tip here that hit me, remove any reminders. So I'm just quickly going through the scroller over here. So detox, remove any reminders. I think that was the next one here. So that's also true. It also was a reminder to me, because some people think like, hey, do you want to meet again with your ex or something like that, or go to the same gym or like place that you used to go to together? It's gonna prolong the healing process of getting over the breakup. So the title of this is how to quickly get over your breakup. So what's the analogy again? It's like if you were a drug addict and then you say, hey, let me go back to the drug dealer, something like that. It's not gonna help with the breakup, getting over process. It's not gonna help with the healing, right? It's gonna keep reminding you, or like backsliding into that addiction. Next practical tip, go back to basics of good health. So this is a really good reminder. It's good reminder and check. So what does that mean? Go back to working out, eat clean, live a healthy life, build a healthy, supportive environment. Now the reminder here that Pai said, who is the educator, the coach, said, don't, like, for people who they live a healthy lifestyle and then they go into a relationship and then they stop working out in a relationship. It's a reminder to like keep that good life, like the basics, good health, even when you get into a relationship again. So let's say I'm currently single. Let's say someone gets into a relationship. Don't forget the working out. Don't forget the healthy eating. Don't forget that. Make it a lifestyle. So that was a good reminder for me. Even if there's temptation. So the next big tip here, I'll just flip this again. They call it rule of 3, or the big one. I'll just make it simple for you guys. So the way I understand this was Pai, so the coach, the educator, was saying what helped him getting over the breakup or the drug addiction was he would do certain activities, like he would race cars on a track or do jitsu. So simply put, those were flow activities wherein he's so focused and like to that level of intensity, and there was no space for that addiction. And the common silver lining there was, it's like they were activities where he could die. So this one is another epiphany for me, because it's usually in moments where like I would almost die that I had clarity, or those healing moments. So recent example, doing an ice bath. So I had a retreat. This was just last weekend, I believe. Yeah, around May 6 to 7. So that was last Saturday, Sunday. And then when you go in the ice bath, all you're feeling, not just thinking, because my brain actually stopped working if you see one of the videos of me about to go out of the ice bath. you cannot think of the past. You cannot think of those thoughts of rumination or the addiction. It goes back to primal basics. It's like refreshing the RAM, the emotions, and you're just present in that moment. It helps with the healing of the addiction, actually. Now, it's not a one-shot thing, like, oh, I do one ice bath, then I'm okay. No, it's a continuous process. That's what I'm learning. It also made me realize certain other activities like ayahuasca, so plant medicine, very similar. So you're going through a very intense focus or intense process. You feel it physically, emotionally. Sometimes it feels like life or death. And that helps in the process also. If you're curious, again, comment below, ice bath, deep dive, whatever you're interested in, ayahuasca, and I'll reach out to you. So next, moving forward, that was another epiphany. Another big one here. So this is what it says. Just want to fly through this. Closure does not involve the other person. So this was very interesting for me. And the biggest thing, if you watch that 40-minute video, is they do a role play. And it became very clear. So TLDR, you know, the short version of it is, imagine I'm sitting here and then my ex is across and then they role play how it would go. Whatever I say, she's gonna move on. So he did 3 scenarios even. So it's like, one was like kind of harsh. So it's like, you're an asshole, you're a piece of shit. The second one was a little nicer. It's like, you know what? I really care for you. I want the best for you. But this is my decision. Give me space moving forward. And then the third one was funny. So if you watch the video, it's the shortest one. So the point was, closure comes from within, not from the other person. Now, I disagree with one thing that Pai, or the person, said in the video. He said, closure doesn't come from anyone else. Now, here's the thing why I disagree. Again, respectfully, it actually took me other people to realize this lesson of closure up to this day. So if you tell me that you can't get closure without the help of other people, I don't agree with that. Because I realized this lesson just today with the help of 2 people, Dr. Glenn Hong and Pai Jirsa. So I believe that closure, and this is why I made Real Talk Lifeline in the first place. If I could have figured it out back in 2014, then I wouldn't be doing all this, right? So I believe that sometimes we need a little help, right? And this is why I'm doing this. Now, I do agree that eventually, after going through that process, me realizing all these scenarios playing out, understanding that video, man, I loved it. It was so level-headed, calm, the expression. It wasn't just head scientific level. I felt that it was coming also from real experience. So that's where the empathy connects over there. And I could relate to it. So that's the epiphany I got on closure. The last thing, this one, I'll flip it one last time. They call this last lesson, be dialectical. Now I'll simplify what that means. Be dialectical. What these 2 people mean about that. So short of it, simply put, dialectical means there could be multiple meanings for both sides. And it's not binary. So some people, I'll give the bad example is, after the breakup, some people tend to go, oh, actually, there were no good moments anyway. He never loved me anyway. Oh, it was all for nothing. So that's very binary, meaning like, I'll pick one side and then, pardon what I'm gonna say here, fuck the other side. Fuck this, right? So, what they're saying dialectical is, dialectical means there were bad times, there were hard times, like I feel pain after this, and I still appreciate everything we went through. It's both. That's what dialectical means. So it doesn't mean I'm going to be delusional saying that I have no regrets, so I'm going to be okay. No, I still accept what I'm feeling right now. Right? It's tough. I don't want to feel this way. But I've been feeling it for the past, since 2014, right? So dialectical means I accept that, and I still get to appreciate the experience for what it is. Dialectical also means I can accept my side and understand it, and even if her side is different, we're both correct. I could still accept it. So that was another epiphany, breakthrough that I realized. So why am I sharing this? Just to cap it off. Again, the title is Love is One Hell of a Drug. The first time that I've ever heard a doctor and an educator explain love that way, like a breakup. And if you don't believe that's true, I know people who have gone through crazy things after a breakup. Not just like a drug addiction, you know, maybe end up in jail, right? Some people even kill themselves. Like, if you think that's not true, so I'm Googling here, Romeo and Juliet, and what year did that come out, right? William Shakespeare. What's this? 1597. So like 400, 500 years ago or something. I didn't make that up, right? It's real. And some of you maybe even know that out of love, you know, some crazy things happen. And maybe it hits close to home, right? So I don't need to say anything more about that. So just wanted to share with you these quick realizations, epiphanies I just got this morning. 4 a.m., 5 a.m. it hit me. I finished watching that video twice. It was like around 6 a.m. when I got up. And I just wanted to share my process, meaning my greatest epiphanies, these aha moments as I realized it. So comment again down below, deep dive. If you still don't understand some stuff, Martin, hey, I missed one part. Can you clear this up for me? I'd love to help you out there. Comment ice bath if you're curious on that process of like how to like break that addiction, or you know, whatever stuff you're curious. Ayahuasca. We'll be having a retreat next month in June actually. So just check out my stories. So thank you. I love you. And I will see you next time.